They were the faces America adored. Their names topped marquees, their smiles graced magazine covers, and their talent seemed limitless. But then, without warning, they were gone. 10 child stars who once had the world at their feet simply vanished from Hollywood's spotlight. Some of their stories will break your heart. Others might restore your faith in humanity. And a few will leave you questioning everything you thought you knew about fame. Let's dive into these incredible journeys and discover what really happened when the cameras stopped rolling. 1. Bobby Driscoll, Disney's forgotten Peter Pan. Bobby Driscoll wasn't just any child actor. He was Disney's first contracted child star, the voice behind Peter Pan, and the face of Treasure Island. At just 12 years old, he won an Academy Juvenile Award for his performance in The Window. His future seemed absolutely limitless. Then puberty hit. His once cherubic face changed dramatically. Acne scarred his skin, and his features matured beyond the image Disney wanted. Walt Disney himself, who had once treated Bobby like a son, terminated his contract abruptly in 1953. Studio guards reportedly wouldn't even let him through the gates anymore. Industry insiders claimed Bobby had become difficult to work with, but the truth was far crueler. He simply didn't look the part anymore. Dropped by Disney and labeled washed up at 16, Bobby spiraled into devastating addiction. His parents sent him to rehabilitation, but nothing worked. By his early 20s, he was deep into heroin, arrested multiple times, and completely estranged from the industry that once celebrated him. The final chapter reads like Greek tragedy. In 1968, children playing in an abandoned New York tenement discovered a body. With no identification, he was buried in an unmarked pauper's grave on Hart Island. Almost 2 years passed before his mother, having lost all contact, requested police reopen their investigation. Fingerprints confirmed the heartbreaking truth. The unclaimed body was Bobby Driscoll, dead at 31 from heart failure caused by long-term drug use. The boy who once flew as Peter Pan ended his days alone, forgotten, and unrecognized. Perhaps the cruelest twist in a life that began with such extraordinary promise. 2. Jake Lloyd, The Phantom Menace Curse. When Jake Lloyd was cast as young Anakin Skywalker in Star Wars Episode I, The Phantom Menace, it should have been every kid's dream come true. He was just 8 years old in 1999, stepping into one of cinema's most iconic franchises. Instead, it became his nightmare. The backlash was immediate and brutal. Older Star Wars fans tore into his performance mercilessly. Kids at school bullied him relentlessly, destroying Phantom Menace memorabilia in front of him and mocking him daily. The psychological damage was profound and lasting. Jake quit acting shortly after, deeply traumatized by the experience that was supposed to launch his career. As he grew older, the struggles intensified. In 2015, he was arrested following a high-speed chase, and his mother revealed he'd been diagnosed with schizophrenia. The public scrutiny only made things worse. In 2025, there's finally some hope. After completing an 18-month stay at a mental health facility, Jake now resides in a rehabilitation center. His mother shares updates occasionally, speaking about his ongoing struggles with mental health. She's mentioned that fan support has been therapeutic for him, though the damage from those early years can never be fully undone. Jake's story serves as a haunting reminder of how fame can destroy a child before they've even had a chance to grow up. The boy who played the future Darth Vader became a real-life cautionary tale about the dark side of Hollywood. 3. Angus T. Jones, 2.5 Men's Crisis of Faith. Angus T. Jones was once the highest-paid child actor on television, earning $300,000 per episode playing Jake Harper on 2.5 Men. For 10 seasons, he appeared in 226 episodes, growing up on screen before America's eyes. Then, at the height of his success, everything changed. In his late teens, Angus found religion, and not just quietly. In a shocking YouTube video, he denounced the very show that made him rich and famous, calling it filth that conflicted with his Christian values. He urged viewers to stop watching, essentially telling millions of fans to turn away from the sitcom that had defined his entire adolescence. His relationship with the entertainment industry crumbled almost overnight. He called Hollywood corrupt and walked away from the massive paychecks without looking back. This wasn't a gradual fade from the spotlight. This was one of the most dramatic rejections of fame in television history. Since leaving the show, Angus has vanished almost completely from public view. He occasionally works in business ventures, but maintains virtually no public presence. No social media empire, no interviews, no attempts to capitalize on his former fame. He chose faith over fortune and disappeared into a life of privacy that most former child stars can only dream about. His story raises fascinating questions about the price of fame and whether walking away from millions is brave or simply smart. 4. Eric Sullivan, Malcolm's missing middle brother. For 7 seasons, Eric Sullivan played Dewey, the sweet youngest brother on Malcolm in the Middle. The show wrapped nearly 20 years ago, and since then, Eric has achieved something remarkable in Hollywood. He's virtually disappeared without explanation. Unlike other vanished child stars whose whereabouts become tabloid fodder, Eric simply stepped away and stayed away. His former castmates are constantly asked about him. Even Frankie Muniz, who played his on-screen brother Malcolm, admits he doesn't know much about Eric's current life. The silence is complete and deliberate. His parents occasionally attend reunion events or retrospectives, but Eric himself never appears. There's no scandal, no dramatic exit, no public statement about leaving Hollywood behind. Just absence. What little information exists suggests Eric chose a completely normal life away from the spotlight. He attended college and built an existence entirely separate from his childhood fame. No social media presence, no occasional cameos, no exploitation of nostalgia for profit. In an industry where everyone seems desperate to remain relevant, Eric Sullivan's complete disappearance is almost revolutionary. He's one of Hollywood's most mysterious, vanishing acts, and the mystery itself has become more interesting than anything he might say if he broke his silence. Sometimes the most powerful statement is saying nothing at all. 5. Peter Ostrum, Charlie Bucket's One and Done. Peter Ostrum played Charlie Bucket in the 1971 classic Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. He delivered a performance so genuine and heartwarming that it became iconic. The studio immediately offered him a 3-film contract, expecting to build a career around this talented young actor. Peter turned them down flat and never acted again. Not one more movie, not one more television appearance, nothing. He simply walked away from Hollywood at the exact moment when most child actors would kill for such an opportunity. Instead, Peter chose veterinary science. He went to college, became a veterinarian, and spent decades working with large animals. No regrets, no what-ifs, no desperate attempts to recapture former glory. He built a completely different life that had absolutely nothing to do with entertainment. In 2023, he retired from his veterinary practice after a long, satisfying career helping animals. Peter still occasionally participates in Willy Wonka retrospectives and fan events, but acting remains firmly in his past. He's mentioned that he still receives residual checks from the film, usually around $8 to $10 every 3 months. The contrast is almost funny. Millions of people know his face, but he spent his career elbow-deep in livestock medicine. His story represents the ultimate rejection of Hollywood's promise. He had the golden ticket to fame and fortune and chose something completely different instead. Maybe that makes him the wisest child star of them all. 6. Mara Wilson, Matilda's graceful exit. Mara Wilson was everywhere in the 1990s. Mrs. Doubtfire, Miracle on 34th Street, and most memorably, Matilda, where she played the brilliant young girl with telekinetic powers. Her butter wouldn't melt cuteness made her one of the decade's most beloved child stars. Then she stepped away, and for good reason. Her mother died of cancer during the filming of Matilda, a devastating loss that happened while Mara was still navigating the pressures of childhood fame. The industry that seemed so magical suddenly felt hollow and exploitative. As she grew older, Hollywood made it clear they had no interest in her unless she fit very specific, often uncomfortable expectations. Mara withdrew from acting almost entirely, appearing only sporadically until 2015. But unlike many former child stars who disappear into bitterness, she used her experiences to become a writer and advocate. She's spoken extensively about child star exploitation, the impossible standards placed on young performers, and the psychological toll of growing up in the public eye. She returned to entertainment on her own terms, doing voice acting and writing rather than trying to recapture her childhood fame. Her book, Where Am I Now?, honestly explores her complicated relationship with her early career without exploiting it. Mara's story isn't about vanishing forever. It's about disappearing long enough to figure out who you are without cameras watching, then returning as your authentic self. That kind of graceful exit and re-entry is incredibly rare in Hollywood. 7. Jonathan Taylor Thomas, the heartthrob who walked away. Jonathan Taylor Thomas was the 1990s teen heartthrob. His face covered countless magazine covers. Teenage girls plastered their walls with his posters. As Randy Taylor on Home Improvement, he was part of one of television's biggest hits. At the absolute peak of his fame, when most actors would do anything to stay relevant, he did the unthinkable. He left. JTT, as fans called him, walked away from Home Improvement before the final season to attend college. Not for a scandal, not due to conflict, but because he wanted an education and a normal life. The decision shocked Hollywood. Why would someone leave guaranteed fame and fortune for something as ordinary as college? He made brief appearances in a few projects during the 2010s, but maintained an almost invisible public profile. No social media presence, no reality shows, no desperate attempts to stay famous. He simply valued privacy and education over continued stardom. Today, Jonathan Taylor Thomas lives quietly, largely out of the public eye. His choice to prioritize normalcy over celebrity has only increased his mystique. Fans still wonder what he's doing, where he is, and whether he'll ever return. But that's exactly the point. He doesn't need to. His story proves that sometimes the smartest move is walking away while everyone still wants you to stay. He left them wanting more and never looked back. 8. Frankie Muniz, From Malcolm to Race Cars. Frankie Muniz starred as Malcolm in Malcolm in the Middle for 7 seasons, becoming one of the most recognizable young actors of the early 2000s. Unlike many on this list, he didn't disappear due to trauma or rejection. He found something he loved more than acting: racing, professional, full throttle, adrenaline-pumping NASCAR racing. Since 2008, Frankie has pursued professional motorsports with the same intensity he once brought to acting. He competes in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series Championship, proving his racing career isn't a hobby or publicity stunt. It's his life now. He's experienced some concerning health issues, including memory problems that have left him unable to remember significant portions of his childhood and acting career. Yet he maintains a positive outlook and continues pursuing his passion for racing with remarkable determination. Bryan Cranston, his former Breaking Bad co-star, still checks on him regularly, maintaining a friendship that extends far beyond Hollywood. Frankie occasionally does voice work or small acting projects, but his heart clearly belongs to the racetrack now. His story represents successful reinvention. He didn't vanish because Hollywood rejected him or because fame destroyed him. He simply found a new passion and had the courage to pursue it fully, leaving acting behind without regret or bitterness. 9. Taylor Momsen, Gossip Girl to rock star. Taylor Momsen started young, playing Cindy Lou Who in How the Grinch Stole Christmas at just 7 years old. By her teens, she landed a main role as Jenny Humphrey on Gossip Girl, seemingly on track for a long television career. But Taylor had different plans. She left Gossip Girl after season 4 to pursue music full-time, fronting the rock band The Pretty Reckless. This wasn't a side project or a celebrity vanity band. This was a complete career change, pursued with absolute commitment. In 2025, she made it crystal clear where she stands, stating bluntly, "I've left acting behind." When Gossip Girl returned for its revival, she had zero interest in participating. Acting belongs to her past. Music is her present and future. The Pretty Reckless has achieved legitimate success in the rock world, proving Taylor's decision wasn't misguided. She tours extensively, releases albums, and lives the life of a working musician rather than a former child star clinging to past glory. Her transformation is complete. The sweet Cindy Lou Who and privileged Jenny Humphrey are gone, replaced by a rock star who chose authentic artistic expression over manufactured Hollywood fame. She didn't disappear. She transformed entirely into someone Hollywood wouldn't recognize. Sometimes vanishing from one world means finding yourself in another. 10. Brandon Hammond, The Hidden Health Battle. Brandon Hammond starred in Space Jam alongside Michael Jordan, played the young Ahmad in Soul Food, and appeared regularly on Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman throughout the 1990s. Then, after the year 2000, he disappeared completely. For 25 years, nobody knew what happened to him. Unlike other mysterious disappearances, there was no gradual fade, no announced retirement, no scandal. He simply wasn't there anymore. Former castmates wondered. Fans speculated. But Brandon remained silent, leaving everyone to assume he'd simply chosen a different path. In September 2025, the mystery finally ended. Brandon revealed he'd been diagnosed with Castleman disease, a rare disorder affecting the lymph nodes and immune system. After Soul Food's success, he began experiencing chest pains and serious health issues. His focus shifted from Hollywood dreams to survival and recovery. His disappearance wasn't about rejecting fame or escaping Hollywood's dark side. It was about fighting a health battle most people knew nothing about. While fans wondered where he went, he was dealing with a condition that completely redirected his life's trajectory. Brandon's story reminds us that not every vanished child star has a dramatic tale of exploitation or rejection. Sometimes life simply happens in ways that have nothing to do with fame at all. His quarter-century absence had nothing to do with Hollywood and everything to do with health, survival, and privacy during an incredibly difficult personal journey. Conclusion. From Bobby Driscoll's heartbreaking tragedy to Brandon Hammond's hidden health battle, these 10 stories reveal the complicated reality behind childhood fame. Some found happiness and reinvention. Others faced heartbreak and exploitation. A few simply walked away while they still could. The common thread: Hollywood's brutal treatment of child stars once they grow up. The industry builds empires on young faces, then discards them the moment they stop fitting the mold. Some survive it, others don't. But each story offers lessons about the price of fame and the courage it takes to disappear. If you enjoyed this journey through Hollywood's vanished child stars, smash that like button and subscribe to our channel for more deep dives into entertainment history. Hit the notification bell so you never miss our next video. Which story affected you most? And which former child stars should we profile next? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. We read every single one.